I think I need a trip to the barbers. It's been quite some time since I last went. The truth of it is why I often wear a hat. Letting it grow this wild was never my intent. In reality, I'm actually quite lazy. There are other things I'd rather do instead. And now with this tangled mess, I must honestly confess, I've half a mind to just say stuff it and shave my head. Hello folks, Thomas Benjamin Wilde Esquire here with song 11 of my Song a Week project, which was about the need to go for a haircut and beard trim at some point in the near future. It's been a while since I last went, and in fact I'm gonna put my hat back on now. But I thought it was quite appropriate to play that without the hat on, just to show the difference, really. I spend a lot of my time hiding the fact that I've not had a haircut using a hat. I'm really lazy when it comes to having my hair cut and the beard trimmed. Generally, it's leading up to any kind of big show or performance that I'm having to do. It is when I actually get down there. And I always think it's been a few weeks, and it always ends up being a few months. I'm sure other people are very similar to that. If it wasn't for the fact that I've actually made a thing about looking dapper on stage and in videos, then I probably would have shaved my head a long time ago. I used to have a shaven head, but more on that later. I played this song on my Duke 10 banjolele, which I got for a rather lovely discount from the folks at Duke. If you're interested in getting your own one of these, you can find a link in the description where you can get $20 off and free shipping by using the discount code that's available to you through my social media pages. So that's quite good. I've just put the first 10 songs on my Patreon for my patrons to be able to vote for which two of them I should turn into full-length songs and record properly. So there is a poll on there at the moment. If you're interested in joining my Patreon community, as well as joining in with polls, you can see exclusive materials. You can see these videos first before anybody else, plus get exclusive live streams, behind the scenes videos and all that kind of thing. More information about that can be found in the description. So lots of lovely comments from the last video that I did, which was about getting older and not enjoying the party lifestyle anymore. I'm much preferring to settle down at home of an evening. Christy Chan Won has described it as a middle-aged anthem. Absolutely. Franco Walker 4662 says, at 56, a night out sounds like hell. Haha. I agree. I sometimes enjoy a night out still, but fewer and further between now. Lots of comments on here about people's experiences on this. A couple of questions. PSY007 or Psy007, not sure of this. Have you always been the dapper character you are today, or was there a time we'd see you walking around in jeans and a hoodie, maybe clean shaven? Love your work. Now, I'm going to share some pictures with you now of my younger years. Back when I was a teenager, I was actually a bit of a punk rocker. Used to wear tartan bondage trousers, a leather jacket, and I had a bright pink Mohican. Now, I'm going to see if I can find some pictures of that. If not, there's definitely a picture of myself in Brighton when I was, I believe, 24, 25, with pink hair, which is on the screen below you now. Here's a picture of me when I was clean shaven. This was done for a photo shoot with a good friend of mine, Jez Brown Photography, for an exhibition that he did quite a number of years ago now, called Nostalgia, where he was trying to create photographs that made the subjects look like old classic photos. So this is the one that he took of me without the beard. There was a time when I just had a moustache, a big curly moustache as well, and there was plenty of times when I had a shaven head. Now, I'm saying all of this without having access to the photos, so I'm hoping they're appearing on the screen now if I did actually manage to go through social media and find them. But yes, there was a time when I dress very, very differently. I've been doing the vintage thing for probably the last 15 years or so now. More so in the later years from that, off the back of being involved with various vintage festivals and things like that. My partner being in marketing and promotion for a vintage festival as well, Twinwood Festival, which I'm back at again this year. So if you're coming along to that, you can catch me over that weekend. Another question from Anne Henderson 2434, Yank here. What is an allotment? Okay, that's a very good question. So last week I mentioned the fact that we've just taken on an allotment. Now, I don't know if it's the same in other countries, but we've got a very, very small back garden in our house, which doesn't give a lot of space for growing. But what you can do over here is you can essentially rent a space owned by the council, where you can plant vegetables, fruit, various other things. And you just kind of take over a space so that you can actually grow your own produce for essentially personal use. It's kind of ours is half a plot at the moment, which is about half the size of a tennis court. But actually, the full plot is twice the size of that. And yeah, so we've just taken one of those on. It's completely barren at the moment. There's not a lot there. We're hoping that by next year, we're going to have lots of fruit and veg that we can grow. I'm going to try and get some stuff in the ground this year. But let me know in the comments, do you have similar things? I know in Europe, they have similar things. They have similar deals there. But the States, in the US, do you have anything like that? Any spaces that you can kind of rent or, take on and take ownership of to grow stuff? It'd be interesting to know. But that's what an allotment is anyway. And a quick correction for Maria on Patreon. I mentioned that she worked in Japan for 40 years. She didn't work there for 40 years. She worked there 40 years ago. So apologies for that, Maria. I just thought I'd clarify that. Just a quick reminder of all the shows I've got coming up over the next few weeks and months. On Saturday, the 1st of June, I'll be down in Redruth for the Great Estate Festival here in the UK with my band, The Fancy Chaps. It'd be lovely to see you there if you're around the area. On the 12th of June, I'll be in London, in Brixton, at Hootenanny with the marvellous Mr. Tom Carradine. We'll be doing our Two Tom show there. And on the 15th, the Saturday, the 15th of June, I will be at Parafest in North Wales. It would be lovely to see you at one of those shows if you're in the local area. And then on the 7th of July, I'll be in Sheffield at the Dorothy Pax doing a solo show with wonderful Mr. Chris Taverner, who I've done various solo shows with before. I'll tell you about the rest of them over the next few weeks as well. Those are the ones that are coming up in the next month or so. Be lovely to see you there. So I think that's it from me for this week. If you're interested in joining my Patreon community and getting kind of exclusive materials, you can find details of that in the description below. If you're interested in the Duke 10, you can get a discount on that by following the link in the description as well. Be lovely to see you out and about at a show if you're in the UK at some point over the summer. But until next time, stay safe and toodle pip.